Ever hit back day religiously, only to look in the mirror and wonder, where are my gains? I've been there, grinding for months with rows, pull-downs, random machines, and still ended up with a back that looked more like a flat wall than a V-taper. The truth? Your back isn't one simple muscle. It's a complex system of lats, traps, rhomboids, and spinal erectors, all firing in different directions. And no, one or two cookie-cutter exercises won't get the job done. I used to waste time on the wrong stuff. Yes, even behind-the-neck pull-downs. Yikes. Until I finally dove into the science. EMG studies, biomechanics, real expert data. What I found changed everything. In this video, I'm breaking down 4 science-backed exercises that finally made my back explode with size. And I'm gonna walk you through exactly how to do them right. Real cues, real studies, and yes, probably a few laughs along the way. If you're serious about unlocking that wide, thick Greek god back, don't miss this. Your next level gains start now. Let's kick things off with one of the most essential, underrated, and results-driven back builders in your arsenal, the one-arm dumbbell row. It's simple, it's accessible, but when done right, this move does far more than just work your back. It transforms it. Here's why it matters. If your goal is to build a wide, dense, and symmetrical back, you can't rely solely on machines or cables. The back is a complex structure. It's not just about lats. It's your traps, rhomboids, erectors, and deep stabilizers working in unison. And this exercise, it hits all of them. Plus, because it's unilateral, it helps fix one of the most common issues lifters face: left to right imbalances that make your physique look uneven and can even increase injury risk. This is your chance to train like a sculptor, one side at a time. Here's how to set it up properly. Place your left knee and hand on a flat bench, keeping your spine neutral and chest proud. Your right foot should be planted firmly on the floor, slightly back for balance. Now grab a dumbbell in your right hand and let it hang straight beneath your shoulder. This setup should feel solid, like you could hold it for a minute without wobbling. That stability is important because the real work begins now. Before you move, brace your core. Tighten your abs like someone's about to poke you in the stomach. Then begin the pull. Drive your right elbow back and slightly up, as if you're trying to tuck it into your back pocket. That cue helps you pull in the correct plane of motion, alongside your body, not out wide. You're not curling the dumbbell up with your biceps. You're rowing it with your back, which means the elbow leads the movement, not the hand. At the top of the row, your elbow should pass the line of your torso. Pause for a beat and focus on squeezing your lat and mid-back. This is where the money is made. Don't rush through it. Now, lower the dumbbell slowly, feeling your lat stretch as your arm extends fully. Keep your chest lifted the entire time, like you're doing a one-sided trust fall. Don't let your upper back round, and whatever you do, don't twist your torso to cheat the rep. This is a row, not a corkscrew. So why does this move work so well? EMG studies have shown that the one-arm dumbbell row activates up to 91% of the lat's maximum potential. That's almost identical to a heavy barbell row, which clocks in at 93%. In other words, you're getting elite-level activation with just a dumbbell and a bench. But there's more. Because the movement is one-sided, your core has to stabilize like crazy to resist twisting. In fact, one study noted that unilateral rowing exercises challenge the torsional capabilities of the trunk. Translation: your abs and obliques are secretly doing bonus work while you grow your back. That's a win-win. If you feel it too much in your arms, you're probably pulling with your hand, not your elbow. Keep your focus on driving the elbow behind you, keeping it close to your body, and squeezing your shoulder blade towards your spine on every rep. Now for programming. Start with moderate weight and aim for 8 to 12 reps per set. Research suggests this rep range, especially at about 60 to 80% of your 1-rep max, is optimal for hypertrophy. And if your form starts to break down, don't be a hero. Drop the weight by a few pounds and clean up your reps. Muscle growth doesn't come from throwing weight around. It comes from controlled, quality reps with full tension and mind-muscle connection. Think of each rep as a chance to row your scapula into your spine. Not yank the dumbbell like you're starting a lawnmower. Imagine you're in a tug-of-war with a dinosaur. you've got one chance to win, and that means no T-Rex shoulders and no slouching. Keep that back tight, your chest high, and row like your life depends on it. Alright, now that your lats are fired up from those one-arm dumbbell rows, it's time to move to the next pillar of back building, the wide grip lat pull-down. This is a classic, but when done right, it's one of the most effective exercises in the game for widening your back and carving out that coveted V-taper. Don't let its simplicity fool you. Most people butcher this move or turn it into a biceps curl with a bar. But if you lock in the form and understand what's really happening under the hood, the lat pull-down becomes a powerful hypertrophy tool. Start by setting up at a cable machine with a lat bar attachment. Take a wide overhand grip, just a bit wider than your shoulder width. Sit down, locking your thighs firmly under the pads, and sit tall. Slightly lean back, not slouched or hanging, but just enough to open your chest and create the right pulling angle. Now here's a critical cue. Pull your shoulder blades down like you're trying to jam them into your back pockets. This activates your lats before the bar even moves and prevents your traps from hijacking the movement. Now let's talk about execution. Instead of yanking with your arms, focus on driving your elbows down and in. Imagine pulling your elbows toward your hips, not your hands to your chest. That small mental shift completely changes how your back engages. As the bar comes down, it should graze the front of your body, landing somewhere around the upper chest or just under your chin. Pause at the bottom, squeeze your lats like you're trying to pinch oranges under your arms. Then slowly let the bar rise back up until your arms are fully extended. At the top, you'll feel a deep stretch through your lats. Don't skip this part. Research has shown that this stretch phase plays a key role in muscle growth due to increased mechanical tension at long muscle lengths. So why does this move work so well? Because it's backed by hard science. A well-known study by Signorile et al. Found that a pronated wide grip pull-down to the chest produces the highest activation of the latissimus dorsi out of all pull-down variations. And that wasn't just a fluke. An ACE-sponsored EMG analysis confirmed that wide grip lat pull-downs generate nearly the same lat activation as weighted pull-ups and bent-over barbell rows. That's huge, especially if you're not yet knocking out clean sets of pull-ups. A properly executed lat pull-down is your next best weapon. Let's tighten up your form even more with a few precision tips. First, keep your elbows close to your body as you pull. That elbow path matters. It helps fully engage the lats and minimizes unwanted biceps takeover. Second, make it a habit to retract your shoulder blades on each rep. Pull them down and back as you row. This stabilizes your shoulders and activates your mid-back, making the whole movement stronger and safer. Third, control the bar like it's fragile glass. No bouncing, jerking, or slamming into your chest. A 1 to 2 second pause at the top stretch position adds tension where it counts and builds the kind of time under tension that drives hypertrophy. Here's a killer tip to push your sets further. When you hit failure and can't complete another clean rep, do partial reps in the bottom range. Keep the bar within that last 6 to 10 inches of travel and grind out a few short pulses. This keeps constant tension on the lats and squeezes every last bit of growth potential from your set. Some lifters call this the lazy pump, but make no mistake, it's brutally effective. Now, a quick note on what not to do. Don't lean too far back like you're doing a row. And please, never pull the bar behind your head. Not only does it shift the load off your lats, it can also place your shoulders in a compromising position, especially if you're not hypermobile. Think chest to bar, not bar to neck. If you ever feel like you're straitjacketing yourself during the pull, good, you're locking your lats in. But if you feel like you're swinging through the motion like a confused ninja, probably not ideal. And yes, I'll admit it, I've made the mistake of pulling behind the neck early on. It felt cool until my shoulders gave me a very clear nope. Learn from my awkward gym fail and pull in front. Your shoulders and lats will thank you. The wide grip lat pull down is an essential compound movement that deserves a permanent spot in your back training. It's accessible, scalable, and extremely effective when done with intention. Think form over ego, elbows to hips, and full stretch at the top. Stack that with the one-arm dumbbell row, and we're already well on our way to building a back that's not just wide, but powerful, dense, and built for performance. Now that your lats are warmed up and stretched from those wide grip pull-downs, it's time to dive into a move that builds the thickness of your back, where the depth comes from. Enter the seated cable row, a staple movement that's often rushed through or treated like a cool-down. But when done properly, it's an absolute powerhouse for developing your mid-back, lats, and rear delts. Let's set it up right. Find a seated cable row machine with a V-bar or neutral grip handle, palms facing each other. Plant your feet flat on the platform, knees slightly bent, and sit tall. You can lean slightly forward at the start, but your spine stays neutral the entire time. No hunching, no excessive arching. Now grab the handle, and before you even pull, do this. Pull your shoulder blades down and back. This sets your back and puts your lats in the driver's seat from the very first rep. Now, let's move. Start the pull by driving your elbows straight back, aiming toward your hips, not your chest. Your elbows should stay tight to your sides, almost scraping along your ribs. As you row, think about pulling the handle into your lower rib cage or belt line, not your chest. This keeps the tension exactly where we want it, your lats, rhomboids, and traps. At the peak of the row, squeeze your shoulder blades together like you're crushing a pencil between them. Then, just as important, control the release. Let your arms extend fully forward, allowing the lats to stretch out at the end of each rep. Don't skip this part. The stretch under tension is a proven driver of muscle growth. Why is this movement so effective? Well, EMG studies have shown that seated rows produce some of the highest lat activation of any back movement. Yes, even higher than wide grip pull-downs in certain cases. One study found that standard seated rows lit up the lats more than both wide and reverse grip pull-downs. Translation: this move is a mid-back monster when done right, but the benefits go even further. Because you're seated and supported, it's easier to isolate the pulling muscles without letting your lower back compensate. And if you don't have access to a row machine, you can still simulate the benefits using chest-supported dumbbell rows on an inclined bench, or even a T-bar row with a chest pad. These variations give you the same targeted pull with reduced momentum, which helps you train with precision and control. Now let's make sure your form stays locked in. First, lead with your elbows, not your hands. A helpful cue? Pretend there's a flame under each elbow, and your job is to blow it out by pulling your elbows straight back. This keeps the arms from dominating and keeps tension on the back. Second, keep your spine flat and chest up. If your torso is rocking back and forth, the weight's too heavy. Jerking the handle only shifts the load off your lats and into your ego. Lower the weight, stay strict, and control every rep like you're trying to win a slow motion contest. And whatever you do, don't flare your elbows up. If your arms start flying out like chicken wings, your upper traps will take over. This is not a trap shrug. Keep the pull low and tight. This isn't about arm strength, it's about back engagement. That means you need to feel your lats contracting, not just your arms working. Visualize each elbow sliding back past your torso, as if they're trying to meet behind you. Want a quick finisher tip? At the end of your set, when you can't get another full rep, try a few bottom half partial reps, pulling only through the strongest portion of the range. This pumps blood into the lats and gives you a final growth stimulus to end on. It's simple, nasty, and highly effective. Seated rows are basically your back shouting, "Hey, pay attention to me!" Every rep is like being pulled over by the back police, and the bar is your ticket to lat domination. Hands on the handle, elbows to your sides, license to grow granted. Alright, your lats and mid-back are already fired up. Now it's time to carve out that thick 3D look across your upper back and traps with one of the most underrated finishers in back training, the wide grip cable row. You'll set up on the same cable row station, but this time, grab a wide lat pull-down bar using an overhand grip. Hands placed just outside shoulder width. Some people prefer doing this on a T-bar row setup, and that works great too. Whichever you use, sit with a slight lean back posture, about 30 to 45 degrees from upright. This angle isn't just a comfort thing. It strategically shifts tension from your lower lats to your rhomboids, rear delts, and mid traps, right where we want it. Feet are planted, spine neutral, core tight. Imagine you're bracing for turbulence, and trust me, your upper back's about to feel the storm. Now the movement. Pull the bar toward your upper abdomen or lower chest, but here's the twist. Flare your elbows out wide as you row. Don't tuck them in like on traditional rows. Instead, let your arms drift outward as if you're forming an arrowhead shape with your upper body. That elbow flare isn't sloppy form. It's the key to activating those hard-to-hit mid-back muscles, like the rhomboids, rear delts, and middle trapezius. At the peak of the pull, squeeze your shoulder blades together hard, like you're trying to pinch a coin between them and hold it for ransom. As you lower the bar, don't rush the return. Let your shoulders protract fully. Feel them open up as your arms extend. That deep stretch at the top isn't just a reset, it's a hypertrophy trigger. Science confirms that muscles under eccentric tension are more likely to grow, so don't cheat yourself, earn that stretch. Why is this move so effective? Because it flips the spotlight from your lats, which we've already trained directly, and lights up your mid-back like a Christmas tree. According to ACE-sponsored research, movements that mimic this exact pattern, like bent-over rows and inverted rows, are among the top mid-trap activators available. The wide grip here replicates that pulling angle, and the flared elbows bring your rear delts and traps into the fight. As Men's Health puts it, chest-supported rows and wide pulls hit the upper back and build thickness and density, something regular lat pull-downs often miss. Now, a few key form cues to dial this in. First, really let those elbows fly out. Think of it as a controlled flare, not a chicken wing. This pulls your shoulder blades together and sends a direct signal to your upper back. Second, maintain that slight lean back. Don't row while sitting bolt upright. That lean aligns the pull path with your upper traps and rhomboids for maximal tension. Third, and this is big, pause and squeeze at the top. Think about pinching a pencil between your shoulder blades and don't let it fall. That contraction makes the difference between doing the move and owning the muscle. And don't overshoot. If you're pulling the bar into your neck or shrugging your shoulders up like you're trying to fly away, you've gone too far. Row to the lower chest, squeeze, then reset. Pulling too high just brings in momentum and takes the load off your target muscles. Like Men's Health says, don't come too high up on this row. Focus on rowing down and back. Simple cue, big gains. Feeling spicy? Try finishers. Once you hit failure on full reps, keep tension with a few mid-range partials, just the second half of the movement. Or for a trap burnout, let your arms lock out and just squeeze your shoulder blades repeatedly. Almost like doing trap shrugs from a seated position. It's brutal, but it'll light your traps up like someone plugged them into a power outlet. No access to a cable machine? You've still got options. A chest-supported dumbbell row on an incline bench or even a wide-grip T-bar row can replicate the angle and feel. Just remember to lead with your elbows, squeeze hard at the top, and stretch deep on the way down. Imagine trying to pry open a steel vault with just your shoulder blades. That's the kind of effort you want here. Focused, flared, and full of intent. This is the movement that builds that dense shelf across your upper back and gives you that, did he just shrug the earth look from behind? If you want to learn the differences between hypertrophy and strength training, make sure to watch the next video.